everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. I'm the Talking Dog Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and this channel is all about cross stitch. I have a fair amount to show you today because once again it has been a couple of weeks. I think we're 2.5 weeks since I last saw you. Obviously I've been intending to film every week, but that's just not happened. So I have been, as I'm sure many of you have, been very busy prepping for Christmas with two very small children who have Santa coming, all of the shopping, all of the prepping. We are going to my parents for Christmas Day, so I don't have to do too much by way of food shopping. I've picked up the turkey and I'll bring it with me on the day, and we're going to go and spend the day with them after we've opened our presents and things over here. I hope you're all ready for Christmas in whatever way that looks like for you, and let's get into stitching. I have got quite a lot. Like I said, I've got one new start, 3 finishes. One of them isn't mine, but we'll just revel in that number for a little bit. I've got 3 finishes, 1 new start, handful of whips, plenty of acquisitions that I've had over the past couple of weeks, which I'll go through a bit later. There is the return of the designer spotlight. So I have gathered all of the Quaternion creations charts and book that I have in the shop at the moment, and we're going to go through those at the very end of the video. So if that's something you're interested in, please do stick around. Otherwise it is going to be right at the very end, so you can duck out early if you so wish. And the giveaway results of my Christmas rules giveaway from last time. Well, let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the finishes, and I'm going to start with the one that's not mine. So my mum has finished a cross stitch and she has loaned it to me to show you all. My mum's stitching style is very different to mine, and that is one of my favourite things about this hobby, is that we can all enjoy it in our own way, in our own form. And my personal taste has developed a lot over the past couple of years since discovering Flosstube and all that kind of thing. I learned from my mum doing things like this. This is Jackie's finish. This is a Design Works kit called Call of the Wild, and it's done with all of the kit materials, the 14 count fabric, 14 count Ada, and all of the floss. Isn't that amazing? So I had to bring that on to show you. She's already started her next one. She's monogamous. I haven't had that much of an effect on her yet. She's a monogamous stitcher, so she's finished this one. She's now started the next one. I believe it's another Design Works Joan Elliott design of the Native American dress. So when she finishes that, hello cat, come to say hello. No, you're not allowed near that. Hello. You say hello to everyone. Hi, Aria. I'm going to go get this safely tucked away, and I'll be back in a second. Right, that's now safely out of reach of cats and children until we next see Lisa of Atelier Frames, who is going to be, she doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be framing that for us. Next on to the first of my finishes. This is a finish for now, and I will explain why. This is Cashmere Camel, which is number 6 in the freebie series by Brooks Books. And I've done 1 through 6 now, and I say finish for now because there are some lazy daisy stitches to go on top of the presents to create the gift bows. Now I have been doing the specialty stitches as I go, but I've decided that I'm going to stop doing that just so that I don't have to keep sort of making sure that they're safe when they're going in and out of the the node hoop. So yeah, that's going to be, I'm going to come back to that at a later date probably when I finished these first 16 to get those lazy daisies stitches put in. But that is a finish for now. So I think that means that I have finished 5 this year, which is not bad. Not bad at all. Considering I started this in 2021, New Year's Day 2021, and I'm only at number 6, 5 of those are this year. I'm almost sure of that. So that is much better progress than what I was doing previously. We live in hope that this will be done for my children when they still, want advent calendars. And my second finish you have seen a couple of times. This is my Honey Mill Hill kit from the Autumn Harvest collection, and you may remember that I oriented the perforated paper wrong when I started stitching on it, so I had to do a little bit of fudging. The wings weren't going to fit onto the width of the paper, so I had to squish them down a little bit, and I think I got away with it. That's where we're at. We're done. This is probably going to live in a box for a little while until I get round to finishing it, but I'm planning on just finishing it with a felt back and a beaded hanger. It does come with a magnet, the kit, to make a fridge magnet, but I think I'm going to have a hanging decoration instead. Lots and lots of bling. The treasures for the eyes. It looks brilliant. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really think I've got away with that. And I know next Mill Hill kit that I do to make sure it's oriented the same as the way the chart does it, because the chart does make it really easy. Like the grid is the same number of squares as the piece of paper that they give you, but apparently I just ignored that. There we go. I'm really happy with how that came out. Next up is my new start. I'm going to need to pop a picture in probably over here. This forms part of my acquisitions for the week. I attended the Jingle Ball and picked up this chart while I was there, and I started it on Friday night. I had a lovely Christmas party with some of my stitchy friends, which involved us all being in our comfiest pyjamas or Christmas jumpers or anything like that. I brought out my Santa hat and we sat and we chat and we stitched, and it was brilliant. There was no, obnoxiously loud music in the background, and best Christmas party ever, and we got to have a lovely catch up. So I did quite a lot of stitching during this catch up as well, which is unusual for me. I have it's about 2% of the chart. This is Holly Wreath by Hello from Liz Matthews and Kathy Barrett, and I've started top left. I've still got a hanging thread, which is quite unlike me, and I'm stitching this on, where have I put, I've attached it to my floss ring. So I'm stitching it on a Swan Bay Fabrics. It's a 40 count linen in the colourway Light Sanditon, which I think is really, really working for this. And then it's charted in NPI Silks, which I do not have. And it does give a DMC alternative. So I have used that DMC alternative to do a bit of a conversion to Classic Colourworks. I think it was 123 Stitch that has a DMC to Classic Colourworks conversion. So looked at the number, had a look at see what it suggested, if there was a suggestion for each of those DMC numbers, and some of them there were, some of them there weren't. I did go a little bit rogue. I think it was 3777 suggested Tennessee red clay, and I just didn't like the way that was sitting, so I have gone for ruby slippers instead. So I've got bandana and ruby slippers, which will be the cardinal in the middle. I think that's going to look lovely, but There's no saying that it won't change once I start stitching it. The rest of them are as called for in that conversion. So we've got balsam fir, bandana, deep fennel, petite maison, ruby slippers, sassy brass, wasabi and weeping willow, 310 and white, and then there are some where it's a bit chaotic, but this is what we're working with. This is what it's looking like. It's just CXC at the moment. In these two holly leaves, it's about 250 stitches. That was a lot of waffle for just one new start. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I really like it. I love the fabric, the Swan Bay fabrics. Really lovely to work on. And it's just looking beautiful. So that's it. That's my only new start. I do have another start planned for this evening, which I will show you a little bit later. But for 2.5 weeks, I'm pretty proud of myself. Just sticking to the one. Next up, I will have to do another photo somewhere on the screen to show you what this is. This is Moon Witch by Artisy. It's a free chart in their Facebook group, and I've put in another 400 or so stitches, so we are creeping up on halfway across the top. I'm using the parking method, as you can tell, the Royal Rose method. And this is lovely because I've got an all panorama and it's full of colour. There's so many colours, there's a lot of colour changes. This is almost like the same but different, so it's full coverage, there's still parking, there's still multiple colours, but there are bigger chunks of each colour as we're going. So I'm really, really enjoying that. I got this out on, I think it might have been just after my last video actually. I felt something full coverage, and I also got this out when I went to Bridgend, which I'll talk about a little bit later. A Marnick frame and Needle Minder by the Black Needle Society. Really happy with how that's looking and how it is coming along. Next up, I worked on Friday the 13th on a Halloween piece. Felt like it was necessary. So in a project bag that I have stitched myself, a little 8x10, I'm stitching Halloween Pillow by Flosstubers. Hard copies like this available at Talking Dog Stitchery, but she also has them on her Etsy page, which are Pattern Keeper compatible. So I love how she stitched that one. That one's stitched with the Cottage Garden thread. I've gone a bit crazy. I'm stitching this on with a couple of things from another Black Needle Society Gothic Romance box. So this is Bestitch Me Gothic Romance, and this is Lapin Loops Curtain Call fabric. It's a 32 count linen, and look at that. Now last time I showed this, I did talk about how I might, we've got a bit of shake on the camera, is it stopped? It's stopped. How I might take a little bit out of each motif and use a contrasting colour to make it pop. I've decided not to do that. I'm just gonna stitch the whole box, the whole lot in that Gothic Romance thread. So last time you saw it, I had the wolf, I had 5 of the 6 tombstones, so I finished the tombstone. I already had this little top corner skeleton, so I finished the rest of the skeletons and the box around the pumpkin in the middle. I'm not rearranging any of the motifs. I've seen some people that have, and it looks great. I really like the way that it's laid out now, so I'm going to stick with it. And there we go. Really happy with that. It's just a little over a third of the way done. Obviously I don't have that in Pattern Keeper at the moment, so I have no idea if I'm actually 33% of the way through. I've got 3 out of 9 boxes done, so I'm calling it a third. So yes, that came out on Friday the 13th. It felt apt. Next is the one that I'm stitching with Sherry. So I showed you last time that we were starting, well, she was starting and I was continuing Christmas Tiny Town, which is this one here by Heart and Hand. We're splitting it up into 6, so there are obviously, as you can see, 6 houses plus the Christmas tree. We are doing 1 house per month until the end of June 2025, which will give us a finish ready for a new start, Christmas in July. So I had already started this, but I hadn't even finished the first house. So I picked it up and I made sure to get that done. And that's where I got to. I have finished the first house. All I had to do was everything above the red on the roof, and there was these tiny little red dots inside the house. That is literally all I had to do, but I needed to get it out and get that done. So I did. It's being stitched on, have I got the, it's a fibre on a whim. Is it cappuccino that I'm stitching this on? Possibly. I'll have to pop along the bottom if it's not. It's a fibre on a whim, one of their coffee series of charts. So yeah, part 1 done. In January I'll crack it open again and we'll get that one done there. I'll probably do the house and the tree, and then in February see if I can get this house, the candy cane at least, done, and then this house will be in March. We'll see how that goes. Ideally this skinny little house over here would have been next to the tree, because it's maybe we skip the tree, maybe I do the candy canes, then the house, and then I'll do the tree and the skinny house at the same time. We'll figure that out when it comes to it. I'm storing that in my Canny Little Fox multi-pocket, and it stores all of my tiny towns inside there. And I've got the, come on, got the charts tucked in there. Big Hearted Tiny Town, an Empty Space, probably Frosty Tiny Town, I think, Halloween Tiny Town, and Christmas Tiny Town. And that's it. That's all I've worked on, somehow. So let's get into acquisitions. Okay, I have picked up a few things over the past couple of weeks. I've done a lot of shopping. Partly because there was the Jingle Ball, which was really lovely. I attended as much as I could in between sort of parental responsibilities. I popped in and out of a couple of stitchy rooms. I caught the Teresa Kogut sort of Q&A section, and mostly the shopping haul. I won't lie, that's where I spent most of my time. I went through and made sure I got all of the freebies, which were more than worth the $10 that you paid for your ticket for the Jingle Ball, and I did some shopping. I went through a couple of times, and because of that, I have a lot. I have a lot that I picked up at the Jingle Ball. So instead of showing you everything, I haven't put all of the, I haven't printed all of the cover photos or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is the first run through of the shopping haul. My first browse, there were 3 charts that I was like, immediately yes. Immediately yes. So I bought those, and then I did some more run throughs. We're going to ignore that. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. And I'll just show you those ones that I immediately said yes to. So you've seen this one already. This is Holly Wreath by Hello from Liz Matthews and Kathy Barrick. I've already started this one. Really, really loved it. I saw this in the sneak peeks before Jingle Ball, and I knew that I had to go and find it when the shopping haul opened. Next up, I ordered Holiday Stroll, this one. I'm looking at my screen to make sure that I get the words right. Holiday Stroll by Teresa Kogut. Really, really enjoyed that one as well. And this one. Heartstring Samplery Marshmallow World. Isn't it adorable? I love the trees and the tiny little house in the background. It is just gorgeous. And I'm sure on a dark fabric, like I've got a couple in mind, but potentially Mystic by Picture This Plus, that will absolutely be stunning. So really, really like those three. Picked them up immediately. Started one of them already. I'm trying not to start the other two. There are more. You'll probably see those as starts in the future. But for now, I'll show you these three. Next up, there needs to be a hashtag. Hashtag Sherry made me do it. I went online. They were still having a 50% off sale. And I've got some Guggenheim scissors. I won't get them out and do the ASMR snipping noises. But when I say they cut like butter, absolutely gorgeous. So using those when anyone orders fabric from the shop, they are being sliced lovely and smooth with my big fabric scissors. Now another reason that I got these, apart from to cut up fabric that people order from Talking Dog Stitchery, I also, when was it? It was, which weekend? I can't even remember what weekend it was. I snuck myself down to Bridgend, to the South Wales. I went to go and stay with my friend Soph, who's here on Flosstube, down in Pontypridd, and snuck over to Turtle Bay Textiles on Sunday for their monthly stitchy day that they have. And it was lovely. I poked out from behind a car and lovely Sophie the turtle was shocked, surprised, confused and burst into tears to see me. And it was so lovely because I've wanted to go down and see her for so long, and I wanted to attend one of these lovely stitchy days in her shop for so long. It was so lovely to go and do that and to go see her. And I took my full coverage. I did a couple of 100 stitches on that full coverage while I was there. I did my Christmas Tiny Town stitching. I got that all done while I was in there. But I was sat in a fabric shop, and let me tell you, it is not possible, I'm sure of it, to walk out of there without buying something. Soph did some shopping for some finishing, so she brought some of her finished cross stitches with her and had picked up some fabrics to finish them with. Brilliant idea. Next time I go, I need to have something that I finished so I can go find some finishing fabric for it. But while I was there, I had a flick through the catalogue of the Simplicity sewing patterns, and I saw this. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and she loves nothing more than being a pretty princess. She loves a dress. So I think I'm going to try and make D, which is a dress length. Because these are all tops, this is dress length. But I'm going to put the pockets from C on. Big words from someone who doesn't sew. But that is the plan. So I've got the pattern. It is suitable for her size. And I picked up some fabrics. And Sophie has William Morris in there. So the fabrics that I picked up were William Morris. So I'm going to use that for the main dress itself. And then this contrasting for the pockets. But that's upside down. I need to make sure to remember directionality of fabric. Otherwise I'll be on the phone to Sophie like, please tell me you've got some more. So yeah, I did that. did a lot of shopping. Another exciting thing that arrived this week was a few months ago, donated isn't the right word because I got something in return, I backed an Indiegogo campaign for the Emerging Queendom book by Quaternion Creations, and it arrived. And it's here, and it's beautiful. The Emerging Queendom by Quaternion Creations. I got my copy in, like I say, like a Kickstarter, Indiegogo. It's a signed copy, and I got a gorgeous little bookmark as well. And I've bookmarked, I think it's my favourite, other than the cover photo, which is absolutely gorgeous, is this one. I love the pops of pink and the swans there, absolutely gorgeous. Whether I do the border or not, you know me in a border, I'm not very good at, getting on with it and just getting the border done. So, but look at that. And it comes with a beautiful story to go with it, beautiful artwork inside, and then the cross-stitch chart itself. I'm going to put it at a really steep angle so you can't actually see it, but with your floss and the cross-stitch chart, and then onto another one. It's beautiful. If you have backed it and you're waiting for your copy, it's so worth the wait. If you're looking at it and thinking that is beautiful, I wish I'd had one, Talking Dog Stitchery has a number of them in stock. I received, along with this one, all of the ones for people that are pre-ordered, and a few extras. So if you want that, it's beautiful. Yours won't be signed though. Sorry. Only if you backed on the Kickstarter. Love it. Very, very, very happy with that. And I think they're doing in the Facebook group a stitch along for all of the charts in the book throughout 2025. So if that's something that you feel like you could potentially actually keep up with, join that. I don't think that's something I'm going to do. We're nearly done. I've got a couple more things to show you. I saw that Canny Little Fox was having an upload at the beginning of December, saw a fabric that I really liked in a home case, and I sent her a message and said, is there any chance you would do me a multi-pocket in that fabric if you've got any left? And she said yes. So here we go. I have got another Canny Little Fox multi-pocket. Cute little polar bear fabric, and that's the inside. As usual, it's got it's got 6 pockets in there. I haven't decided what I'm going to keep in there. It might be a selection of Christmas projects. It works really well for the tiny towns, so I'm trying to think if I've got another sort of series of charts that I could put together. Look at me buying something and I don't even know what I'm going to use it for. There we go, what's new? And finally, I did an Owl Forest embroidery order with a group of us, and my next selection of Owl Forest stuff came in. So I picked up this is the square Owl Forest organizer. Now on there is the symbols that Owl Forest embroidery use in their charts. So you can use this organizer for any of their charts and it will work. I have also bought the circular version. And then of course I couldn't do another order without getting the threads for it. So I got the DMC threads for October Mood. I'll move them to the side so you can, I'll pop a picture of the chart up here. And also the Snow Queen. Focus, focus, thank you. The Snow Queen, which I'll pop up there as well. And that's it. That is it for acquisitions. Okay. Next up, I will do the giveaway, and then we will get into the designer spotlight. Last week, I told you I was giving away my copy of Primrose Cottage Stitches Christmas Rules, which I'm just trying to fetch. Christmas Rules by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It is my used copy, so it's a little weathered, but it's unmarked, so you can perfectly happily either make a copy or stitch from this. And the winner of this is on the screen now, 12 books a day, 8640. Congratulations. Send me an email. I've put my email address down below, or leave me send me a message on Instagram and let me know your address so that I can get this in the post to you. It will be probably in the new year, but I will get this to you, and potentially you can have a Christmas finish for next year. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone who entered. There was over 30 of you that commented with the word rules, and yeah, I'm really happy to be able to give that away to someone, because I cannot for the life of me get any to put into the shop. So that's probably the only way that you're going to be able to get it from me at this point is to win it. Now, I'm creeping closer and closer to 3,000 subscribers. So when I reach that number, I'm going to have a massive, massive giveaway. Massive. So if you don't already subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. If you know someone who's a stitcher who might like watching what I've got, then send them my way and get them to subscribe, and we'll get a giveaway. There will be gift vouchers to the shop. There will be some fat quarters from the lovely Sophie at Turtle Bay Stitches. There will be charts and threads and all sorts. So there's going to be a massive giveaway. So send everyone my direction. Get people subscribing, and we'll do that giveaway. Last part of the video is the designer spotlight. So I have already mentioned today Quaternion Creations, Maria, the author of or the designer of the charts behind the Emerging Queendom book. I have a number of her charts in the store, so I'm going to show you them. These are just the ones that I've got in. She also has a number of other ones. She's got a lovely black work stitch along going on, which I think is either just finishing or has just finished. Cross stitch charts. Very Viking. This was originally a stitch along. It is now a standalone chart. All monochrome. Just little. My favourite thing about Maria's charts, if I try not to spend it, they all come with a little bit of a background as to the mythology or the stories behind where the pattern has come from. So this is obviously the Vikings. It's got the gods, it's Freya and Loki and all that kind of stuff. So I absolutely love that about her charts. The Oak Nymph, simple 2 colours. It's only 59 by 79. Again, it's from Greek mythology. It's got a bit of background about dryads and the nymphs. Medina, the forest goddess. This is Baltic mythology. Medina is the Lithuanian goddess of the forest and hunting. I love all of the little patterns that go into the background, into the animals and the dresses and all that kind of stuff. Seshat, Egyptian, goddess of writing, wisdom and knowledge. And I mean, who can not love a black cat? The beer goddess. This is Ninkasi, the Sumerian goddess of beer and brewing. Look at that dress. Fabulous. Justitia, Lady Justice. Roman goddess of justice and law. Gaia, the Greek goddess of the earth, mother of all life. This is all done in a variegated floss, and a lot of her designs are either monochrome or it's in 1 or 2 colours, and very, very suitable for sort of stash conversions and all that kind of stuff. This one really works though, the blue and the green for the Mother Earth. I like this one, Nevermore, and that's obviously based on The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Of Dragons and Apples. I think this was a stitch along to start with as well. This is probably one of the biggest ones that I've got. 171 by 227. Again, lots of stories, and yeah, story of Owen and a girl. Again, look at that's so suitable to a stash dye variegated floss. You could really make that one your own. Anubis, the jackal, Egyptian god of funerary rites, protector of graves. And Athena, it's the Greek goddess. That, just like a little pop of 154 in the midst of that. Again, another one that you could really make your own. So I absolutely love her charts. I've not actually stitched one of hers yet. No, you know that thing where there's just so many things you can't possibly stitch everything. I'm definitely at that point, but 2025 is the year that I get at least one into the whip pile. So that is Quaternion Creations, lovely Maria, and the charts that I've got at Talking Dog Stitchery, designed by her. Speaking of adding things to the whip pile, there will be a whip parade incoming some point after Christmas. I have, I think, nearly 90 whips. Full count we'll find out. We'll find out when we do the whip parade. It's a lot. It's probably going to be an all-day job to get that filmed and edited and uploaded. I'm still yet to decide whether I get everything out into chronological order, oldest to newest. It's a big job. I feel like it works better for my whips to work from oldest to newest, because you can see such a massive progression from where I started doing a 14 count kit and to the present day. That being said, it kind of highlights, doesn't it, just how long some of these things have been hanging around. My oldest whip is the same whip as it was last year. Having said that this year was the year to finish it. It is what it is. I've made progress on it this year. I have spent a good few stitchy sessions working on it, so it is closer to a finish than it was at the start of the year, and that's all that matters to me. I have no plans for it to go anywhere to anyone. It is me stitching for the love of stitching, so I'm not too upset about it. I do wish it was done, but we'll talk about in the whip parade why it's not quite been done yet. But I have a lot. Can I spin you around a little bit? Here we have just my small project bags, my 8x10s with projects in. And then here is all of my project bags in 13x10 bags. These are all my projects in just the Amazon plastic ones. These are in the larger bags, and I've got full coverages just up there. So there are a lot. But yeah, that's the plan. So I will see you after Christmas. I wish you all a merry and happy time of the year, and happy stitching. Bye.